How about now? That's better, yeah? Better. How's it going, everybody? Now you can hear me. I know everything's a little bit delayed. Here, I gotta show you. Here we go. Look, over there. Hold on. Oh! Turn around, Danette. That's Sister Z's packing orders. When she comes to visit and we put her to work. First Amazon link currently unavailable. My Amazon? Oh, really? That's funny. That is funny. Which one is that? Which you talking about? One of these products in the description? That's funny. So we can let's talk for a minute, and then we'll get into some of these little things. So yeah, what I said, I think when nobody could hear, was that we were up at the Whobbit hole this weekend. We had what should be our last kind of constructions. They want to know if they can get an autograph. Oh yeah. For sure. Autograph. You gotta make sure you put a note in it. Please, autograph by Sister Z's. Yeah. Hey, Street Wiz, I'm good, man. So yesterday we had what should be our last construction filming day of the Whobbit hole build with the Building Off the Grid show. Now, I will let me see if I can find a way to share with you guys the list of things that we have left to do, because it is not a reasonable list. It's not small. It's not small. You're not a reasonable guy. That's true. I'm not a reasonable guy. Sister Z says I'm not a reasonable guy, and she's right. So we're going to see if we can get this stuff done, but I am not super hopeful. Let's see if I can email it or something, and because I can't, I'm not on a Mac, so I have to copy, and then I have to email because it's silly. Anyways, maybe I don't need to do all this, but there, I can do it. Yeah. But it's crazy how much stuff there is left to do, and if anything that is on this list doesn't happen when it's supposed to happen in the next 2 weeks, then there's no way we're going to be done for July 10th, which is the day they want to film the reveal, you know. We had some really good stuff happen this week, but we also had some stuff really not happen. Okay. So there's the list. What do you guys think? Zoom in. Oop, oop, oop. So we got some electrical stuff still to do. We got a little bit of HVAC stuff to do. We got a lot of main wiring to do. We got to try and get the drywall started on the 30th. Then we got to put doors in still. We got to do outside stucco stuff on the walls that are open, or where the doors are. We still have to get the round door. The round door is not there. We got to still get somebody to build the hinge. The guy who said he was going to build the hinge fell through. He flaked out on us last week. We got to try and do some painting. We got a funky sink to build. We got to get cabinets put in. We're still not totally done with the outside. We got decks to build on the outside. The flooring's got to go in. We got to get toilets and sinks and countertop, and then maybe move in furniture, and then get a special delivery, and then ready on the 10th. What do you think? What do you think? Can we get that done? I'm saying no problem, right? I actually this was the email I sent to the producer person and said, basically, if anything on this list doesn't happen on the days that we have on this list, there's no way we're going to be ready. So I'm trying to prep them that we're not going to be ready, because there's no way. If I could be up there, if I didn't have a job to do here and I could just be up there all the time, then maybe. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some TV magic involved, Richard. You are right. Piece of cake. Street Wiz, that's your birthday? Awesome. Oh, thank you, XCOM, for the cheer. Oh, I can't read what it says. Dang. Double pay if they finish early. Shoo. I think I had to probably double pay if they finish on time. But that's one of the biggest problems right now. So, I mean, I don't know if it's happening everywhere in the world, but so Lumen Cache is roughed in, Larry. So my wiring is in. I don't have any of the Lumen Cache stuff on hand. So Derek is supposed to be getting it DHL'd very soon, but I don't have any Lumen Cache stuff right now to install. So there won't be, at the bottom of that list, it said there won't be any lighting. So whatever lighting they want, it's going to have to be, brought in. We're going to have to bring in start a generator outside. You just got a message from Derek too? Yeah, probably because they're finally getting a big shipment from China into the US. I think he's got some distributor out there in the South. I don't remember, North Carolina or something like that, where he's got somebody redistributing stuff. But anyway, he hopefully we'll get it soon. But regardless, we just have to get this thing done for the TV, and then I can actually get it done. Isn't this the way the TV build makeover programs? A deadline that can't be met? Yeah, I think that is what they do, right? And I want to try and tell them, and we kind of have tried to tell them that it's a little stale. Like as people, VJ's falling asleep, night shift. There's been enough of these shows, right? You hit it right on the head. There's been enough of these like rebuild, remodel, construction shows that everybody knows the pattern. And the pattern is we set some deadline, we can't meet it, something miraculously happens, they break some stuff, blah, 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 natural disaster, and then, it ends well, right? Like it's the same thing every flipping time. So I would like to see them change it up. We tried to do some things very differently. We didn't want to break a window. We didn't let them break a window, or we found other things to do that weren't breaking a window because they wanted to see all these kind of drama things. But we've given them enough material. I told them we need to be a 2-hour season finale episode or something like that. Hobbit Holo Track, you want to see it? Okay. Shh, VJ, shh, don't tell anybody. I'll show you. Shh. You didn't see it from me. You saw it from somebody else. Just for a second. If the camera's working. Yep, there it is. Oh. So see, we're going to be ready in 2 weeks, right? Can't you tell? But it looks pretty sweet. We're getting there, right? We're getting there. Okay, now I got to shut it. Okay? So if you want to see more VJ, it'll be on the DIY network in a few months, and once they've aired it, then I can start airing all the footage and all the stuff that I've collected. Let's get to our sponsor stuff, because I want to get through the sponsor stuff, blah, 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 and then I want to do some real helping. I want to do some helping. This morning I had somebody messaging me on Discord, and I helped them, and I was like, oh, that feels nice. I haven't got to do that directly in a while. So I want to do some helping today. So let's get through some of these things. So the first thing these poor people sometimes. So I got the first list of codes here or links here in the description, which I guess somebody said isn't working. So these people that make a robot vacuum, it's Neabot. Okay, this is it. It says Neabot. It's got the laser. It's got self-cleaning. Wow, I didn't realize it was that expensive. But what I have realized, I'll tell you this, because I've had this thing in my possession for, I don't remember how many months, but it's probably not available on Amazon, right? Oh, no, it's available. Maybe it was maybe whoever clicked on it and said it wasn't available. Maybe it's not available in your country. Anyways, comparing these to other ones, I don't really know. And I was going to say, what I have noticed, or what I've realized about myself and about us in our main house here, is that we are not robot vacuum people. Our house is too messy. There's always way too much crap on the floor. So, what can I tell you? This one is kind of cool. It does have the radar. I've got it set up here in my office, but what I'm going to do with it is take it up to the Whobbit hole. It does require you to sign up, like with your email. At least you don't need to give your phone number. Like, who's that? 2-year, one of those guys, you have to give your phone number. Robot vacuums and children don't mix. You know what, Richard? I think you're right. because there's just so much clutter. There's always something. There's socks and tables and games and toys and crap all over, and it just can't really navigate around. And besides, for the last couple of months, we've had 2 rooms in our house completely taken up with furniture that's supposed to go up to the Whobbit hole. Anyways, I set this one up. It took a few tries to set it up. It had a little trouble connecting, but seems to do fine. It talks to you. I can't give you too much more information about it, but when they sent it to me, I said, I'm not going to do a full review. What I can tell you is I will talk about it on my stream. Thank you, baby. And I felt bad because they kept messaging me, hey, you haven't talked about it. So I shared it. I put robot vacuum in the description, and I'll give you some more. Oh, it just took up. What did it? Maybe it heard me say robot vacuum because it's starting to clean my floor right now. Oh, I can tell you this. Oh, I know what happened. So it had to do a firmware upgrade. And I had it on the charger. It didn't like the way I arranged it on the charger. So it backed itself up, got reassociated, and then went back on. And then just now, Gracie came in and stole my cinnamon bears. She was stealing my chocolate-covered cinnamon bear. She bumped it. And so when it started moving, it was because it needed to readjust itself. Ooh, cat. Oh, gross. But I was thinking that it might be a good thing in the Hobbit hole. So I think I'll take it up there, find a place to park it. Then it can sweep when nobody's around and stuff. It'll be fun. I mean, there'll be a lot less clutter. So that's it. With 3 and 5-year-olds, we have toys everywhere. Yeah. Yep. We've lost our other vacuum. It went under a couch somewhere. I think we did find it eventually, but it was lost for a while. So anyways, thank you, Neabot, for helping sponsor the stream. And if you guys want to check out the links, there they are. I have a couple Banggood things too. We got to get this out of the way. This one's actually pretty cool. Oh shoot, I don't have it on me. But I thought this one was pretty cool. So check this out. Breaking Bad. Great for those people that don't actually need their floor actually vacuuming. Made a good episode of Breaking Bad. What did the robot vacuum in Breaking Bad? I watched Breaking Bad. I don't remember seeing a robot vacuum. So this little thing, which is way overpriced, but super cool. It's actually it's for, it's wires. It's for a 3-wire connector. So I'm thinking to myself, LEDs, right? You got 3 wires, plus minus data. So it's a 3-wire connector, and you just shove the wires in there. And then this little tab, that you see there, this little guy, catches the wire, and it won't let it pull out unless you stick a screwdriver in there. You can stick a screwdriver in that little slot, and then it will release the wire. But it's got to be a long, skinny one. But then it comes apart like this, and it clips together. So I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty slick little connector. I like it. $6 though for one connector? I thought that was a pack. Anyways, it's a cool little thing that I hadn't seen before. It's rated for mains level voltage at least. So you can do, if you have an application for it, there's that. Oh my gosh, I have so many things. So we're going to try and keep doing this. It wasn't lost. It chucked in the towel. Yeah, that's probably true. It's like, I give up. I'm hiding. I'm hiding from you. You abuse me. You Aidens. You abuse me. That is a bit expensive, right? The Wago clones. This one is, for price, I have a hard time saying that I'm going to buy a bunch of these. That's just the truth. Wagos work pretty well, and they're certainly cheaper than this. This did have some really cool features. I actually was impressed with this little connector. The way that the way the wires go in was really easy. They stayed in really well, like yanked and yanked. They didn't pull out, and they didn't tear the wire or anything. The way you can separate them and clip them back together was really nice. So they were really good connectors. The only downside is price. So maybe take 100 of those for $15. Yeah, no, it's something like that, Richard. If they were like $1 a piece or $1.50 a piece, I'd probably get a bunch of them, but $6 for one? No, you're talking about, $6, that's half the price of your LED string or something, right? That's a little much, but it's a cool connector. Maybe the longer that they're out, maybe there'll be some more clones. Maybe the manufacturing cost will go down. Maybe we'll get some less expensive options or access to something similar, because they're cool for sure. Okay, is next on the Banggood list. We got to continue our PixelPro and other thing manufacturing process. They sent me the Reflow oven. So now we have the Reflow oven and we have the pick and place machine. We had to redesign the PixelPro circuit board because of parts. Quindor knows exactly what I'm talking about, because parts go missing all of a sudden. You can't get them anymore. You can't get them for months. And so if you want to make more of something, you sometimes have to switch the parts that you're using to make more of those. And we had to make a little change to the PixelPro board. But anyways, now we have a Reflow oven. We have that. So we're going to have a nice little manufacturing facility down here in the basement. So happy about that. This is a lame little thing that nobody else is going to use but me, but I actually like them. This one is actually something that I bought myself once long ago. And then I saw it on the list of things that Banggood had. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll take that. So it's just a selfie stick, but the reason that I use it, or the reason I like it, is because I don't use it as a selfie stick very much. I use it as a mini tripod because it's pretty small and I can fold it up pretty easy. And then I can so I keep something like this handy a lot, because then when I'm working on something and I'm like, oh gosh, I should really be filming this, I can just throw my phone on it and set it up like a little tripod, and I can film with my phone hands-free. So, and the one that I had, I've used so much, and I finally bent, like I was pushing down too hard on it, and I bent one of these things, and so then it just wouldn't sit. And I still let it limp through for a while, but it just got so bad, every time I put my phone on it, it would just tip over. So I got a new one. So that will help. Which reminds me, thank you very much. Who is that? Offsec. Chernobyl Offsec? I don't know. Anyways, but thank you very much. What was the other thing I was going to say about that? Oh, so we're coming to the end of the Whobbit hole filming, right? Is next swimwear. Very nice. I sincerely miss making videos. I've gotten to that point now where I was slowing down and I was making one a month or something like that for a while. And then this year, once we started really going crazy with the Hobbit hole, like March, I haven't made a single like regular length video. And I miss it. So I'm going to recommit myself. I got to get through some of this. I just right now there's just no time. So I got to get through some of this. But boy, do I want to make regular videos again. I really do. And I'm crawling up the slowly on the 100,000 subscribers. So I really am excited about that. And maybe that will be what I'll set for myself as the kickoff of doing more videos. Thank you, Izzy Wizzy. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Be careful what you wish for. DrZzs in a bikini, not safe for work. Don't get all emotional. Okay, now what I have to tell you guys is this. I got this thing, and when I got it, I was like, oh, I thought I got it as like a novelty. Okay. I thought this thing would be like a novelty. It turns out I love this thing. I'm going to fire it up for you. So you got to kind of hold the button to get it to fire up. Okay. It's got two different speeds. It's got one dot. Blows like crazy. Can't you see it blow my hair? But man, can you hear that? It's like a jet. It's like pushing against my hand. And that's not even on full speed. This is full speed. I swear this thing like wants to take off. This thing is awesome. It's got two little heads. One has a brush. One has a little point on it. So it's for like cleaning out your cracks. It's a crack cleaner. So like computer stuff, I would guess, but also cars and things. But man, this thing, I was impressed. When I fired this up, I thought, oh, it's going to be weak. This is like a gimmick. Oh, it has a light on it too. So you can see where you're blowing stuff out. But man, you're expecting flame to come out. I'll bet you if you, because it's blowing oxygen. So if you had the right kind of fire already going and you were just blowing oxygen on it, you could probably make it, a little bit bigger fire with this. But anyways, this thing I have actually been, of all the things, I'm very happy with the tripod. And of course, I'm very happy with the reflow oven because we're going to use that stuff. This I thought would just be a gimmick and a toy to throw away. But I really like it. I'm actually going to use this. I'm going to go put it in my car and like clean the dust out of all the cracks. Especially because up at the Hobbit hole, it's been very dusty. So my truck needs a good cleaning. So I was actually quite impressed with that. And it's rechargeable. It's got a rechargeable battery in there. So you just hook it up to a micro USB. There's the port there by my finger. Micro USB and you recharge it. So very cool. I'm going to make sure it keeps charging because I'm going to use it. All right. There. Do they come with earplugs? No kidding, man. It's like a jet engine. I mean, this thing is crazy. But look what it says here. Wind speed, 70 meters per second. 45,000 RPM motor speed. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but it is really pretty strong. I am impressed. I am quite impressed. So anyways, that's kind of fun. All right. There. My obligation to the sponsors has been fulfilled. Woof. Now, what do you guys want to talk about? Who's got questions? Who's got questions? Who's got problems? Let's fix them, right? That's what we do. We fix problems. Cordless leaf blower. Clean out blowers and stuff on my service calls. What? Oh, really? Oh, Stove Doctor? Oh, it's over 9,000 for sure. It's awesome. Hang that out the window of the car on full and improve the economy. To push me like a jet propelled. You could probably use it as like a turbo. You could put it on your intake manifold, use it like a turbocharger. Small body, strong wind. Sounds like some people I work with. Oh, geez. Oh, man. While we're talking about this, have I been slacking with my blue? Need to get migrating. Raspy, yes and no. Yes and no. What I have I haven't opened up my other Home Assistant in well over a month. So, did I post a link? Yes. All the links for all those things that I showed, including the handheld jet blower, are in the video description on YouTube. They might not be there on Twitch because I updated it later. And when I do restream, I put it in once and it goes to both. But then if I update it, it doesn't go to both. And I only updated it on YouTube because that's the one that the sponsors cared about. They don't care about Twitch. Learn how to take a snapshot and display it on my Shield TV. Oh, nice. Take a snapshot of the TV, 4 tracks. That's cool. For actionable notifications. All right, Sean's got a question. And Home Assistant, would it be possible to have an actual notification pop out whenever your TV turns on and the notification would allow you to pause, play, volume, etc.? Good question. So, Sean, I would say yes, it's possible, but only if you're using the right kind of media player on your TV. Roku, I believe. Tell me if I'm right, guys here. Roku, you can use your Roku like a media player in Home Assistant. So that means you can play and pause and stuff. So I'm sure you could get a state. Let me see. I probably have. This is a great question. I like this question. It's one of those things that is great about Home Assistant because it is totally not necessary, but we do it anyways, right? Oh, Jonathan, quick round of what you've missed on Home Assistant for the last month. Okay, 3 months, we'll do that. So here you go. So you could, so if you're using a Roku, okay, you could set a sensor or set it so that the state here triggers, right? So if it's playing, is probably what I would expect. So the Roku remote. I'm wondering if let's see if we go to this. Let's see what we can do if we. Oh shoot! Because I'm pretty sure you can play things from here. Yeah, so you can play. You can pick your source, which is basically your channels, right? So you can pick your channel. You can do volume and stuff, and then you can play. And it looks like It looks like it's playing now. So now the status is on, where the status before was, idle, right? Let's see what else we can do. I thought, hey, yeah, there it goes. 10 seconds ago on. HBO Max. I don't have HBO Max. That's nasty. I thought I picked Disney Plus. ESPN. So you can change the channel. There you go. So ESPN. You could change the channels, and you could, so you have all these attributes over here. So you could set your sensor or whatever's, triggering your automation, to look for one of these things, right? What the source is, or, you can, anything that's over here, you can use as a trigger, or you can set as a target, right? Like you can tell it, I think you can tell it. I would expect you can. If you can go here and change the source, then there must be a media player, a service call for source, right? I don't know what it is. I haven't done it. Roku search. How about media player? It's probably, if it's a media player, go to the media player entity in the documents. And then there's going to be some service calls that you can use probably to like play, pause. And you probably have to select the media and stuff here. Play media, and then you got to probably pick which one. You could turn it on, you could turn it off. Play pause. There's a play pause. Yeah, right there. Play pause is a service. So there you go. All right. Over's here. Yes. Oh, hey, James, what do you think about making this on your router that you were saying we need a picture of the Hobbit hole? Or if we want a more realistic picture, I can do one once it's built. But I think it's a great idea. I love the idea. Anyways, that was a squirrel. That's what we do around here. We squirrel. I'm feeling energy today. Can you tell? I'm like way more energized than I have been sometimes. All right, Tony, what else do we got to say about this TV thing? Ton of pushback around the TPM thing. What's TPM thing? Wouldn't surprise me if Microsoft changes their mind on that. Oh, Microsoft's doing something? No TPM support. What is TPM? I don't know what TPM means. You guys can tell me in a minute. Going to have to get that dust blower thing, send it to the boss instead of wasting money on cans all the time. Totally. It's rechargeable. I'm sure it blows out. And you could probably, it's got a pretty wide nozzle on it. But if you 3D printed up something even more fine, you could probably get a super powerful stream, right? It should be pretty good. Power monitor on TV power supply. You could do that too, Steve. That would tell you, that's a good point. If what you wanted to know, if you didn't have Roku, and there's probably other media players too, I would expect maybe Android media player. That's just the only one I have. So those of you who have other things like, I don't even know what there is anymore. Steam box, is that still a thing? Or the NVIDIA things? I don't know if like Apple TV or Amazon TV. I don't know. We have some Amazon TVs and they don't show up on here, so I don't know. They don't show up automatically. Maybe I need to add the app or add the integration. But anyways, is it possible to do what you asked? Yeah, it is. How and how easy? There's a little bit of the backbone for it there, and the rest is going to take some research. I don't have like a template for that. Maybe there is. Has anybody got a blueprint for that? Has anybody made a blueprint for that? That would be really cool. Trusted platform module. What? PC uses to secure all the encryption keys and such. Oh, geez. When the doorbell rings, it sends a snapshot to the TV pop-up. Oh, that's fantastic, Son Obscurity. They require it because they want to force secure boot in the future. Whatever. Windows 11 needs Intel Gen 8 and above. I'm up north. Only phone today. Oh, only phone today? You're up north? Where's north? Nice wooden sign like this outside the hole, right? That was what Jay After Dark, he was showing me something. He was CNC milling. And he's like, we need to get a picture of the Hobbit hole. And I said, yes, we do. Yes, we do. What else we got? So somebody else was saying, what did you miss? What would we say? How would you sum up what somebody has missed in the last 3 months of Home Assistant? Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I can tell you. So if we go back, like most recently, there is now a much easier way to flash your ESP home devices and WLED devices through a browser. So instead of downloading ESP Home Flasher, you can just connect, as long as you have the driver you still need the right driver for the device, for the ESP32 or 8266 device. And then you can connect those up and in ESP Home or WLED, through the website. So ESP Home has the website. I don't know how the WLED one works. I haven't, other than when Paulus was first showing me, I haven't played with it again. But anyways, you can flash them right from a browser, which is super cool. What else has happened? Gosh, I was going to say something about this too. We're squirreling around today. I used to really pride myself on being able to talk to newbies. Oh, hey, baby. I love you. How you doing? Smell good. You want to go get a cinnamon bear and give me one? Of course you do. I used to really pride myself on being able to explain things to somebody who's brand new, because I felt like I still understood things like somebody who's brand new understands them. I'm feeling like I may have lost that. Thank you, baby. I'm feeling like I may not be able to do that so well anymore. Maybe it's just because I haven't been playing with it directly anymore, or very much. I guess we can go back and look at the review notes. Built a complete local remote. That's awesome, John. Yeah. The Roku integration with Home Assistant is really good. Does anybody use anything else that they think is really good? DIY flume type solution for monitoring water usage without tapping into the pipe. Ooh. How could you do that? Yeah, things have changed a lot, haven't they? Sure good enough. So much so that I'm like, gosh. I think a lot of things. So as I looked, when I went to this developer thing and I went to services, I went to Media Playwright and I picked something. This is all different, right? And this is probably in the last 6 months, or 3 months, whatever. So the process for testing out a service call, this whole menu is different. And if you wanted to like create an automation, if you went to like automations, it also looks like that. So say we wanted to add an automation, we can just skip this. Or blueprints. Were you around for blueprints? Blueprints are probably more than 3 months old. But let's just start with an empty automation, and it kind of does the same thing. It gives you a bit more. Well, this doesn't look like it did it very much. But it gives you, it makes it easier. It's a bit more visual to me than it used to be before. It's a lot easier to do some of these things. And didn't that happen like for scenes and scripts it changed too? I kind of remember. No, not quite so much. What else has changed a lot? It's been great. You're halfway to be able to say, trust me, I'm an engineer. No, oh man. Starting to use blueprints now, finally. The best use for blueprints that I have had so far has been that HA switch plate. Man, oh yeah, the Tasmota. Yeah, that's right, the direct Tasmota stuff. That's huge. That's huge. So now there's a Tasmota integration in Home Assistant, like direct integration. So you don't have to use, it still uses MQTT. So you still have to have an MQTT broker, but you don't have to use MQTT auto discovery, and you don't have to use, you do not have to manually create your entities and your sensors and whatever. You can just, as long as you're on version 9.2 of Tasmota, and whatever recent version of Home Assistant. It's been a few months, so it's anything recent. We'll have that. And it just finds all your devices, all your Tasmotized devices, and puts all the sensors and all the right information and stuff into Home Assistant. It's awesome. That was the one thing that made me go back and upgrade all my old Tasmota devices to the newest version of Tasmota, because that automatic integration with Home Assistant was so good. So I definitely intend to delve back into it. Yeah, it's really been good. Looking for a doorbell camera that will play well with Home Assistant and not a lot of money in the UK. Also wired preferred. Any ideas? Let's talk about that, Piston Broke. What does everybody else think? I need a doorbell that's good. What I have is basura. I have an old Ring doorbell and I don't even turn it on. It doesn't even work. It's dead battery and whatever. So if there was a decent doorbell out there, I would really like a Reolink. What I wanted, and they should send me one, right? Don't you think they should send me one? Because I've been touting them a lot. What I would like for the doorbell, for a doorbell, would be a, let's see. No, it's Wi-Fi. There's this one. This is what I want. Oh, notify me when ready. Yeah, they're still not ready. But basically what this is it's the E1, which is their little pan, tilt, zoom, indoor Wi-Fi camera. And it works great. We actually have one. If we go back to all of my cameras here on my Reolink NVR, and we go to the house cameras, which, by the way, by this point I am so integrated into Reolink, it's great. So this is a battery one that's out in the front of the house in a tree, and it keeps getting tipped because the screw's loose. It's got a screw loose. So do I. But if we look at the kitchen camera, this is the Wi-Fi camera. There's all the cousins and sister Z's. And this is the E1. This is the Reolink E1. And it's great. And it does pan tilt. I'm not going to mess with it, but it does pan tilt and stuff. And it's been very reliable. Very good. And it plays right into my NVR here. So what I want is a camera like this on the front door. And then just something that will notify, like they push a button, it makes a noise, and then we can just look at this camera. That's kind of what I want. Because Reolink right now doesn't have a doorbell. They don't do a doorbell. So, but now that I've given you guys a few minutes to catch up with what I was saying, what is the best way to do a doorbell? Let's go see what you guys say. ESP Home is about to get a lot more user-friendly. Boy, is it ever. Piston, I just got a Eufy wireless doorbell. Haven't installed yet. Daewoo VTO. What's VTO? Is that like for the win? But some other Eufy all the way, huh? Amcrest AD110. Eufy, you can use wire. Daewoo camera works perfectly, including Home Assistant, NVR, PoE, etc. Quindor, what do you use? Do you use Blue Iris? Can you do a nice WLED lit house number for the Whobbit hole? So I was very close. I was very close to installing Permatrack and LEDs on the pavilion, is what we call it. It's the place where we have the solar panels up at the Whobbit hole, or where we finally started putting in the solar panels this weekend. But I will do it. But me and Mrs. Z's couldn't decide. We couldn't agree on whether we wanted the holes facing down or the holes facing in or out on the Permatrack. And so we agreed not to decide. Thomas, you have an ESP home doorbell? So are you using a ESP32 camera? I just haven't found those terribly reliable. I guess I would love it if it was Ethernet. Unify doorbell. Octawisp says Unify. And all of these working with Home Assistant. Like, you press a button and something pops up. And with me, it doesn't, like, I would really like Reolink to do a doorbell. I don't want to have a different app. Like, I'm okay having two apps, like Home Assistant and Reolink. I don't really want, like, a different one. Couldn't agree. Time to put your foot down and do what she wants. John, you've been married a while. You're a smart man. The EasyViz from Quindor's blog and Amcrest from DigiBlur. I remember the Amcrest ones. I used to like my Amcrest ones, so the first string now only light 16 to the 20. Those should be pretty good, Jag. Those should be pretty good, but I don't know. I guess, contact Mike and see what he says. That's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. I do think I don't know why. Because I haven't had any problems with the ones that I bought from, where did I even buy mine from? AliExpress, like 4 years ago. Before Mike was even selling them. But when I look at Mike's Pixels, because now I've got them all over the place around here, I mean, they look really good. The craftsmanship seems to be really good. Like, the wires are a lot thicker than other wires. I don't know. I can't really look at the circuit board and say it's good or bad, but I don't know. That's a bummer. It may just be one of the pixels went out, and then if you fix that pixel, then the rest of them after it would work. There is a Daewoo VTO to MQTT. Eufy doorbell has RTSP, so it's pretty easy. I remember Rob saying Eufy was the one, right? Rob liked his Eufy doorbell, or he did a big doorbell review. Hook up Rob, and he recommended the Eufy, if I recall. Cam's not that stable. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Thomas. Because I've played with the ESP32 cameras, and I've put out a video about making doorbells out of them, and they have a lot of potential, but they're not reliable. And that is already a problem with our doorbell. Because if we just had an old-fashioned dumb doorbell, or even just an actual bell, an actual physical bell that you bang when you're on the porch, that would be useful. That would be more useful than what we have. We have PermaTrack in stock, John. I think we have everything in stock. I think we have all of it. Oh, I remember you talking about this one, Quindor. This is the one you did the video on a while back? Rob did cameras more than doorbells remodel? Oh, okay. If there's, John, if there's something that you want on PermaTrack that's not in stock, let me know. Because I'm pretty sure we have it all. But we're now we're in a cycle finally, which I think is similar to the Did You Knows with Quindor too. We're in a nice cycle. I think we're finally, after a year plus of doing this, we're finally getting to a cycle where we're at least able to keep things in stock for more than a few days or a week. And before we even run out, we've already got the next batch on the way. So we should have all the PermaTrack that you could want in stock currently. We may be running low on a couple types, but I don't know what they would be. I haven't looked in a week or two. We've got another 5,000 pieces on the ocean, and we are currently giving them the distribution. How many whites, how many browns, how many top holes, side holes, that kind of thing. So we're just going to keep a cycle going now, hopefully until everybody has them on their house and it all burns out and I retire. Still using it. They're excellent. Native Home Assistant on VIF PoE. You named it. Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out. So let's see. This one right here, right? Where would you get it? Quindor? Drop a link. You can drop an affiliate link too. I'm totally good with that. Gosh, that thing looks horrible. It needs I don't think Mrs. Z's would like that. That one looks a little better. Maybe I could paint it. If I could paint this, make it like some other color, maybe she would tolerate it. Amcrest AD410 is awesome, Marco. Home Assistant integration as well. I think Amcrest was one that has yeah, that looks nice. 150, 4 megapixel doorbell, camera pro. Thing is, if it doesn't pop up on Mrs. Z's feed, she's gonna, or if somebody comes to the door. It used to work with Ring, but I think it probably still would, but I turned it. I didn't let in. Print a new case for it, yeah. ESP32 cams are something to play with, but not a reliable solution. Amen, Steve. You use an old-fashioned push-button doorbell and capture real link 4K snapshot via Node Red. No two-way audio, though. Yeah. And that's good enough. We don't really need an intercom out there. We just need... This one does it all. Complete kit, including monitor, PoE switch. Okay, let's check it out. Oh my gosh. Sweet. This goes on the inside, huh? Oh. That is the for real deal. They need to work on the cosmetics though. I gotta at least give us some rounded corners or give us some different textures. But it would be, other than that, pretty good. Pretty good. Mounted in a wooden box. That's what I was thinking. Old carriage light fit the Whobbit hole theme. Amen. Screen is optional, but yeah. VTO has an NFC tag on it. Wow. That's cool. Website says out of stock. Website says out of stock. PermaTrack? Holy crap. Okay, so we got brown with holes on the bottom. We only have 9 with holes on the side, but we still have some. White Holes on the bottom. Holes on the side. Which one are you looking at? What are you looking for? Maybe you had a refresh or something there. Who was it? John? Who was it that was looking for Permatrack? Oh, I saw something about a Shelly device. Shelly device behind the doorbell button. I like the wooden box thing. Tasmota versus ESP Home. Alessio. Oh, the ancient debate rages on through history. I haven't changed my opinion on this, so I'll give you the same spiel that probably a lot of you guys have heard me say before. It's my opinion on ESP Home versus Tasmota. Okay? And this isn't the end all be all. They're both great and they both work very well for whichever kinds of project or device you're using. But my sort of preference, my way of thinking about it, if I'm going to be building a device from scratch, so I want some funky combination of motor control, button, LED, distance sensor, blah, 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 right? I want to just Frankenstein together some custom device like for a garage door, for my window opening things. For those kinds of projects where I'm taking some sort of a Wi-Fi device and I'm building a device around it with sensors and actions and stuff, ESP Home is what I would use. And that's just how I've done it. And so that's what I like. If I'm buying a device off the shelf, but I don't want to use the off-the-shelf firmware, then I'm going to Tasmota. So if I'm buying a Tuya device and I don't want to use the Tuya firmware or a Sonoff device or something, and I don't want to use their firmware, as long as it's an ESP8266 or an ESP32, which I don't think any of them are, but as long as it's an 8266, Tasmota is what I'm going with. You can still make very good DIY Franken devices and use Tasmota. You can also put ESP Home on a Tuya switch or Sonoff. That's just my distinction. They are both very good. ESP Home's gotten a lot better, but so has Tasmota. And what was I looking at that Tasmota can do now? It was amazing. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't motor control. I don't remember now. Unfortunately, I can't think of what it was, but it was, Tasmota's still growing and still evolving, and it's really flipping good. What are we fixing today? What is ESP Home again? Yeah, Sir Goodenough is a Tasmota file. He's a good one too. He knows his stuff. He knows his Tasmota inside and out. That guy was the wrong site, so that answered my question. Oh, sweet. Is there another site that says it? Is it like it's not on Mike's site? Is it, or is it DrZzs and it's just not forwarding you? I've left it here just so people can go. I think it's private, so it's listing it for me when it shouldn't. I hate that. I'm so sorry for that, guys. I've tried to take that off, and I don't know for sure why it isn't doing it. Yeah, it does say out of stock, but what I tried to do is right here. And maybe I should, that's a great, I should change this. I should make this so that this is more prominent. So thank you, John. I'm going to fix that. Okay. I'm going to put that on my to-do list. So I'll fix that so that it's more prominent. Because, yeah, I could totally see people looking at this and going, oh, it's out of stock. When it's not, we've got lots. Okay. Each has its uses, Tasmota and ESP Home. That's right, Andrew. I concur, amigo. I want to check out this other one that Quindor says to look at. This is the same one? Oh, that looks like something out of Star Wars. Oh, does it spray mace? It looks like it could spray mace. I do like that it turns. Oh, and it's Ethernet? It's PoE? It is PoE. Oh. Here's a question. Can I bring any PoE device into my Reolink NVR? I kind of felt like there was some that I could, but I don't remember if it was all of them. I would really love to have it in my Reolink app. This looks like a fairly generic one. I like that it looks like a Stormtrooper can of mace. Oh, man. If you want Home Assistant doorbell, these are it. Cool. Those are the ones. But I agree, they are quite bulky. Their function and build quality is top notch, though. Yeah, I'm sure they look like they're for like an apartment. That to me, that's what it look like, or commercial. You know, like a business. That's what they look like. But I agree. I like the function part of things more than the aesthetics. But you know, I don't get to decide all of it. OnVIF and RTSP, no problem for Real Link NVR. Okay, sweet. Man, that's a good one. Okay, wait, I'm gonna bookmark that one. I gotta ask my wife. Honey, can I buy this? I'm going to put it over here so I remember later. Thank you, Quindor. Has to be Real Link. Oh, really, Ryan? Dang. I thought I brought some other cameras in, but maybe I didn't. It's been a while since I played with it. I've had a few other things on my mind. That one looks like it would project a hologram onto the front porch. Pretty nice lockdown, I think. Oh, is it really? Maybe true. Maybe true. I can't remember. I do know that there were some, you know, they definitely have some cameras that you can't do in some Real Link cameras that you can't do in other NVRs, but I don't remember if it was the other way around or not. Do you guys remember a long time ago I had a laser? I still have it. It's a laser projector that I played with a little bit. It was a really expensive laser projector that somebody sent me, and I never really did a video review on it. But I'm thinking about it with the Hobbit hole, because we put this pavilion up for solar panels and stuff, and it's got this big wall, and from the highway, you can see this big wall on the side. I would think it would be pretty cool. I could put a stick in the ground and put this projector on top and project stuff onto the side of that wall that you can see for miles. Might be fun. Might be fun. Okay, what other problems do people have? What other questions, concerns, chistes, chismes? Let's see. Do we have some questions in the... Oh, what's this? What's going on? What the poop? Version 3, did you know? SK6812s cut into 4 3-LED segments using version 12. Correct type of LED, correct number of LEDs using pin 16 in WLED. The very first LED's light, none of the others will, even if I hook it up the rest of the strip. I did not use, won't light up. Hook up the rest of the strip. I did not use, won't light up. What in the LED heck is going on? What do you guys, sometimes I get these questions and if I feel like if I could just like sit down with their setup, like hold it in my hands, look at it, tinker with it myself, I could fix it or figure out what the problem is. But it's really hard to read somebody's problem and then know what to ask and know how to go about fixing it. So let's go through this one again. Okay, so he's got 4 3-LED segments. So he's trying to do something funky, right? So he's got a DrZzs, so 1 output, but he's got it going to 4 small 3-LED segments. Okay. Version 12. Correct type of WLED, correct number of LEDs. Version 3 of the DrZzs. So that's the new one, right? Is it still pin 16? Maybe it's because it's not pin 16. Or maybe he has a bad LED. Taking a blowtorch to this project. What, Joseph? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, don't do that. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna get too distracted, so we're gonna come back and think about these. Come up with some. What should we say for Balukan? What should we tell Balukan to check for? Andrew, to answer your question, it's gonna be about 5 volts or 12 volts. That's a good. It is still pin 16. Okay, let's just ask him. Well, they're gonna be 5 volts. So right, because the 12s are always 5. Or no, you would know. So ask him that. Does it configure total number of LEDs for the strips? Okay, let's see. Correct type of LED, correct number of LEDs. So I'm thinking that's what he means there. But this is also why. Is this you, Joseph? Tried all the pins. Let's make sure Joseph doesn't blowtorch his project. That should be the goal for the day. What else could be going on here? So the first 3 LEDs light. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How does he have it? Tried all the pins. So 5 volts. Is this you, Joseph? Just answer me that. But you have them wired. So you have a DrZz. So you have one data output, and you've got the 4 strings coming off of it. You got the 4 strings coming off it. So one of them is working, but the other 3 are not. And even if you hook up a different strip, they're not working? That's crazy. Post some pictures. Can you post some pictures in Discord here in your chat with me? Take some pictures of of how it's wired up and stuff and post them up here. That'll help. This is fun. I think if I could make a full-time living doing LED troubleshooting, I would. Without segments, the total LED is set to like 100. What did you see? Yeah, that's true. Do you have it set? Do you have the number of LEDs set to 3? Because, well, I guess that should still work, right? Because basically, as far as WLED is concerned, it's only 3 LEDs. He's only lighting up 3 LEDs. He's just got it connected to 4 different segments or 4 different mini strips of 3 LEDs. So, and you don't have anything on with segments. That wouldn't matter anyways. Gosh, and the strip. Man, so it's got to be, if you have one strip that's working, 12 total from light to light. Okay, then how are you connecting the other strips? Are you connecting them all to one point? So you have one data wire, you have one data connection on the DrZz, and it's going to, you have 4 wires coming off of it going to each strip. Is that right? Because I'm not thinking of any software problem that you could be having. This sounds completely like a hardware problem. You could try each strip individually. That's a good point, Steve. Try it. I mean, that's the process, right? You just got to kind of, okay, let's take this part let's take this piece out of the scenario, out of the equation, and see, is this part working? So if it's still not working, then okay, then something's wrong with that. Or, if it starts working, then maybe the problem is the thing you took out. That kind of troubleshooting steps, right? 12 because it is 3 LEDs and solder wires to rest light with 3 more LEDs. It's 3 LEDs, then solder wires to nest. Hey, you got them pointing the right way, right? You didn't switch one of your strips of LEDs. Yeah, Andy's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. When you went from one to the next segment, did you turn it around on accident? That would make sense. Split the problem in half until something works. Ooh, I like that, Sir Good Enough. That's a good way to think of it. Split it in half until something works. 12 from light to light. 12 because it's 3 LEDs, then solder wires to the rest light with more LEDs. They do have, yep, they should have a little arrow. That's right. Learn and share. Data out from one strip. Data in on strip 2. Yep. I think everybody's thinking the same thing. Let's hope that's it. Is that it? Ha ha! We did it! Right? Really? Oh, man. Oh, you checked that? That's not it. Now I'm confused. I hate the delay. I need faster feedback. Also got the multimeter out. And what do you see? I mean, I'm wondering though, could there be something, can you unsolder that? So maybe what I'm now, if I was understanding how you have it connected before, I was wrong, right? So you have one data wire that comes out, it goes to a segment of 3 strips or 3 LEDs. Then you have some wire, and then you have 3 more LEDs, and then some wire and 3 more LEDs and some wire and 3 more. Data out to data in. Okay, so you got that part right. Yeah, you might have a short. That's true too, and that's kind of where I was going next too. Is that maybe between, maybe on one end of the solder there, something happened. Voice chat on Discord has no delay. I always get nervous about bringing people on. I don't know if they get nervous or not, but I do. Is the data line bridged when you soldered onto it? Yeah. Could it be like touching the ground or touching the positive? Is there a pixel LED strip that is 6 millimeters wide? So that's really skinny. What's normal is 10? What's the normal strip? How wide is a normal strip? 9, 10? So I would, can you unsolder, Joseph, can you unsolder between, one end or both ends between the first segment and the next segment? Right? Because you're, is that where it's stopping? But you said it's something about all 12 light up. So if you put it on if you put one strip in that has 12, then all 12 light up. But because you've got it soldered and then a strip and soldered and then a strip, it's gotta be something in the joint. It's gotta be something in the joint. No bridging. Maybe one of those LEDs is dead. Maybe that first LED in that second set is dead. Had the flipped strip died, all the LEDs had burned spots on them. Ooh boy. I mean, it definitely sounds like it's an LED physical problem. Is where we're going. Bad pixel, yeah. Could be that so basically the fourth pixel. So you got 3, gap of wire, and then that fourth one could be dead. So try and replace that fourth one, like unsolder those and solder in a different set of 3, or cut those out and bring in the next set, that kind of thing. It's a good problem. It's a good problem. We can fix this. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, took enough time on me. Give somebody else the love. Okay, thanks, man. It has to be. Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Joseph. Sorry that you're frustrated. We've all been there. We all feel your pain. Don't worry, we're with you. All right, you can do it. Take a break, and then come back to it. Shorter strip once by accidentally touching it. Had to remove 2 pixels just by touching it, like with your hand, like. Bzz. Can't get enough current. Maybe supply crowbarring. Oh boy. Running off WLED, number of LEDs correct. Yeah, we got that part, I think, Steve. All right, let's see what else is in the questions page. Questions page, live stream questions. There's no live stream questions. There's no live stream questions? My goodness. What are we going to do? Moving soon, Toon says. Is it best to rebuild from scratch or patch what I have to work with the new home? Home system will get a shiny 40U rack to live in. Holy cow. Well, Toon, let's talk about your system and maybe give you a little bit more specific advice. Do you have a lot of stuff or do you have just a few things? Have you spent a lot of time customizing things? Like, do you have a lot of entities that you had to write YAML for yourself or any of those kinds of things? Like, how much effort would it be to adapt it to your new system? My default would be start a new system. That would be my fault. Yeah, that would be my recommendation right off the bat without knowing too much. Brain juice? Oh, that'll help. Yeah, that'll help, Joseph. How you doing, Mr. D? What you up to? I love those pants. Best pants ever. Dawson has a pair of pajama pants with a cat riding a unicorn fighting with a pug dog riding a narwhal in a rainbow. Pretty cool. Cool pants. Hey, buddy. What do you say? Fill that up a little. Oh, what else is going on in the world, fellas? When I do get back to making videos here before too long, what would you like to see? Hobbit hole stuff? That's what Dawson says. I want to work on my bug bad.
Yes.
I want to work on the bug bad.
And I want to do it.
Dawson's my car guy. Dawson's my car guy.
In church, we talked about how love is in the household. And I'm like, me and my dad, we watch a lot of car shows.
Dawson was saying that in his church class today, they were talking about, love in the household and how do you know or something. And he says, me and my dad, we watch a lot of car shows. And it's true, we do.
And then I said roadkill.
Yeah, roadkill.
And one of the guys was like, ew, roadkill?
Oh, well, it's a great show.
It's a great
Christmas
show,
lights
but,
are on
like,
the horizon.
He was thinking of the roadkill.
Oh, yeah, no, a roadkill thing is bad. Have I started working on the bus, Chris? As far as we've gotten is try to start it. We tried to start it and it didn't start. And we haven't gotten any further from there. But something went wrong. Like I tried to start it and like I charged the battery, made sure there was gas in it, checked oil, everything was good. I turned the key and the lights all came on. So I'm like, okay, well, if I turn the key a little farther, we'll get it to turn over and we'll see if it'll work. And Zach wasn't home. So I was like, well, it's his car. I want him to be here for the moment that we do that. And so we'll wait. So turned it off, took the key out, no big deal. Wait a couple hours. Zach comes home, go out there, turn the key. The lights come on for a second and then go off. And no matter how many times we turn the key, poke around at different wires, nothing would get it to turn back on. So since that night, I haven't been able to get back out there to check on it. But yeah, that is something I want to do. And Christmas lights are on the horizon. You're right. And I've turned this, my little hobby, into a bit of a commercial enterprise. So I got to make sure to promote that side of things too, right? Because the more that I can promote Permatrack and PixelPros and DrZzs and such, the sooner I can retire and live in the Hobbit hole full time. Cheers to that. Not yet. All right. Learned this week that my kitchen cabinet lights were messing up the entire time because the DrZz was outputting too low a voltage. Oh, really? So, Nicholas, tell us more. Tell us more about this. What kind of LEDs are you using? Are you using 2812s? And yeah, I would say check your power supply. I think Sir Goodenough's on the right track there. Because it's not likely that it's the DrZz that is, if the DrZz is you're gonna have a little bit less voltage once it kind of passes through there, but it shouldn't be much different. So it's possible that your power supply is not providing enough voltage, or that your power supply is not providing enough current, and when your LEDs turn on, it draws so much current that your power supply's voltage drops. Does that make sense? If that's a thing. Had to rebuild Home Assistant a couple weeks back. Had multiple power outages over the course of 2 weeks, which corrupted my OS. No, luckily I was using Google Drive backups. Yes, stranger. Good job. Good job. That's a win. That is a win. Ooh, Brendan's going to build a chloroplastic tree for Christmas. I should probably do some real stuff. Did someone say Node Red? William Comartin, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you in forever. Where you been? Things going well? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, isn't it time for Blade to show up? Does that really, it's so good enough? Does that happen every time somebody says Node Red? Like if anybody types Node Red, it says, did someone say Node Red? 6812s, power supply was giving 4.9, not enough. Right after the did you know it was showing 3.4? What does it show without any LEDs connected? What does it show without any LEDs connected? I would wonder. And how many LEDs? How many LEDs you got, Nicholas? Node Red? Did someone say Node Red? Let's see. Where is Blade? Isn't it time? That's funny. That's funny, Raspy. You're right. I haven't talked to Blade in a while. We should ping Blade. Let's ping him. Let's everybody ping Blade. He hasn't been in my personal feed in a while, so it's time that we check on Blade. It's been since June 9th since I've had a personal chat with Blade. What the heck? I'm going to say, yo, brother. Where you been? BEAN. That'll be fun. Thank you to whoever just did whatever that was. I'm sorry I missed it, but it was a little chime and a little message, and it's too small for my little eyes. But thank you very much. It's still appreciated. Mounted my pixels using a plastic trunking. Drilled 12mm holes in each pixel. This snap-on cap. They look very similar to the Docs Permatrack. Awesome, Tony. There are cheaper versions. There are cheaper things than Permatrack. That's for sure. What is plastic trunking? I'm trying to figure out what that is though. Call him by phone. I could do that. Do I have his phone number? Yeah, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. I got a phone call. I got a phone call from somebody who had a Digi Uno question or a WLED question, and I'm in the operating room, and I get a phone call, and right now because we're doing all this construction stuff, I have to actually answer my phone even when it's a number that I don't have a contact for, because I am getting a lot of phone calls from contractors or from companies that we're talking to about product or whatever. And so the phone rings and I answered it thinking, well, maybe this is whoever I was waiting for. And this guy's like, hi. So I connected my Digi Uno and this thing's not working. And I went, how did you get my phone number? He's like, oh, it's on the packing slip, or it's on the, the invoice that I got in the email. I was like, oh my gosh. So I tried to help him out a little bit, but I was actually in the operating room, so it wasn't really a good time to be doing that. Thank you, Martin. So, and then I went and fixed that. So, I mean, I love to help. I just can't take phone calls to help in the OR like that. That's, patients wouldn't appreciate that. Neither would the surgeons or the nurses or anybody else. But it was, I mean, I can't blame the guy. That was smart, right? He's like, oh man, I'm having trouble. What do I do? Ooh, there's a phone number. I'll call it. Can't blame him. He didn't do anything wrong. It was me. I was like, what are you doing giving out your phone number, dummy? Build a jig that makes the mini trunking easier. Give me a accidentally turns out the nitrous oxide. Give me a picture of this trunking, guys. I don't know what the trunking is. Worm, how's it going, man? Now I'm going to have to find my packing slip. It's on your invoice. If you bought anything, it's probably on the invoice in your email. Text first, please. Text first. Any word on the streets about Wise robot vacuum and home assistant? Ooh, Sean, I haven't heard about this. I didn't know Wise even had a robot vacuum. Do they? Had not heard about this. Since we're talking about home assistant and things, oh yeah, there it is. Cheap robotic. Look at that. It's free. Oh, $260. So how's the Wise integration with home assistant? Is it pretty good? Thank you, Quindor, for doing that. Oh, he means the J channel. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, J channel is still a good solution, and I would like to have a rack where we can drill it in big batches, but someday. Wise doesn't integrate with home assistant. There you go. They had the problem. Rewire the patient correctly. No biggie. Yeah, no biggie. Call the doc at 2 a.m. after him. His refrigerator. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Mounting to a wall. It's called plastic. Oh, okay. So you're just putting it in like PVC, like a electrical PVC, basically. Worked on a help desk in the past, and I had users tracking down my personal phone number to get weekend support. What's wrong with that? Oh my goodness. Bad experience with Wise. Uh-oh. Pablo says Wise. Pablo the Ninja says Wise is malo. Wise, not so wise, Mr. Dawson says. Wise is not so wise. Not so wise. We're going to do this just because. You love your Wise vacuum, Robert? That's cool. I may love a vacuum. We like Mary, who was our last robot vacuum that got stuck under the couch. And she's found a new home now. But we got this other one, and I'm not going to use it here. I'm just going to use it up at the house, up at the Whobbit house. It's going to be a Whobbit vacuum. That's why I put in the title of the video, what do Whobbits name their vacuums? The V3 cams. Can't get the Blink camera Gen 2 to live stream on HomeKit with Homebridge. Not sure why it doesn't work. I wish I could tell you. It's been the integration of cameras, into Home Assistant or from one system to another can be a little tricky. If you're trying to integrate different cameras, I'd say, Blue Iris, Motion Eye, and if the cameras that you have is not comparable to those, then the Claymore Roomba. Are you pulling my leg there, Jason? Is there a thing called the Claymore Roomba? I forgot about those. That's a bomb. Oh, can I even say that on YouTube? I probably just got demonetized. Dang it. I was almost at 100,000 subscribers. Sent the mini trunking picture. Oh, there he is. Just back from camping. How are you? All the homies on the stream are asking about you. Someone said Node Red and you didn't answer. Thought you were dead. That's what I just wrote to Blade. Oh man, I'm having a good day. Oh, that stuff. Oh, cool. Okay, so like wire mold, mini trunking. Okay, cool. Oh, that's good stuff. Enjoying the nice weather. So Blade is not dead. He is out camping, or has been out camping. Just got home. I need to figure out why template sensors don't work when my sensors are broken out into files that are referencing in the config. Ooh, XCOM. That's an interesting problem. I don't know. That would be, that would be somebody who knows how the code's working underneath it all. Frank or somebody that works in it a lot, definitely. Beyond my understanding at that point. Oh yeah, don't sing a copyright song. What else do I have on my agenda? I don't know. Love Wise and love Home Assistant. Wish we could love them together. People working on integration, just not ready yet. It was interesting that I guess it's because they were Zigbee, but their Zigbee sensors work so well. So, you want to talk about the wiring in the Whobbit hole? We can talk about the wiring because that's what I've been doing a lot lately while you guys are asking more questions. Got my LED lights to change colors based on weather warnings this week. Also, nice, Nicholas. Did you use WLED in the integration in Home Assistant, or did you use ESP Home or Tasmoda and their ability to control LEDs and colors and effects? Which did you use? Wiring. So I need to take some pictures before we get the drywall up, because I have put a massive amount of wiring in the walls in this house. I have used almost 2,500 feet of Cat 5e cable. I've used 2 boxes of 1,000, and I don't know how much is left in the box of 500 that I just was using yesterday, but I used a good bit of it. It's probably not all gone, but I used a good bit of it. And I'm not done. I'm just done to that point. I didn't even realize it was Sunday, Blade says. Got to post a video at some point. We're inching closer to our development of a new collaborative robot at work. It's freaking cool. Oh, that sounds awesome. Hacks weather integration and WLED. Nice. Nice. And in metric. Oh, the feet? Oh, man. If they would sell it like by the kilometer? How many meters? How many meters is that? How many meters of wire did I use? I don't know. Using Cat 5 for GPO cabling. That's my current project. What's GPO? Don't know. Bye. Click like, peeps. YouTube algorithm loves it. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. What is GPO cabling? Let's Google that. GPO cabling. GPO cabling, huh? Connectors. Cable connector. Cable assembly. I wonder. I'm interested to hear what it is. What GPO cabling is. You just put Cat 6 all through your house, Stone? I was wondering, maybe it's GPIO, maybe? Oh, for like coax? For this? For like TV? You using it for TV? Multi-purpose? I got you. So I kind of did the same thing. Okay, so here's what's in my house, right? So because of our code here in the US, you have to have receptacles, outlets. You have to have outlets, and you have to have them every 12 feet or 6 feet from any portion of the wall on any wall that's bigger than 2 feet or 3 feet, some combination of nonsense. I don't know why, because we have plenty of cables. We can just make things stretch. And I'm sure that code was written for a time when things were different than they are now, but whatever. So you have to have receptacles. Fine. So I have 120 volts run to all the receptacles, and I have receptacles in most places. There are some places where I don't. Oh crap. That just reminds me where else I know that I need one. Dang it. Anyway, I do have some walls, like the fiberglass walls of the dome, that I can't run receptacles like in. I can't cut the wall and put a hole in it and all that. So I've got to do like wire mold on the floor and then hide it. And we're going to have to get to that point eventually. But anyway, so I got receptacles run, regular outlet stuff, refrigerator, microwave, some of those things. Okay, great. Then I've got the Lumen Cache PoE lighting wiring in. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think I've got enough, but because I don't have the fixtures and I can't really test and play with it, I don't even know if I have, like I might put in all this lighting and it might still be dim. I really, really, really want a way to be able to pull more wires through the walls at some point in the future. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to, or if I'm going to be able to get that in place before all the things happen that have to happen, but I'm going to try. Then I ran a butt ton of Cat 5e just for Ethernet stuff. I put a couple of spots for cameras, but I didn't want to put a ton of cameras. I just put like 2 cameras in kind of the living spaces. It's a VRBO, or, so it will be a rental kind of a place for a lot of the time. And I don't want to put too many cameras around, but I do want to just have some record of what's going on in case something breaks or somebody takes something or, whatever. I did wire, I was only able to wire, I thought I did 2. I can't think of what the other one was. I tried to wire some door sensors. I did the front door, definitely wired a door sensor. The other ones, just the way that they are with cement and fiberglass, I'm going to have to use wireless alarm sensors on the other doors. What else? That's just like all of that between the Lumen Cache lighting, and I put Ethernet jacks. Oh my gosh. Like I put 3 Ethernet jacks in each bedroom. 3 Ethernet jacks in each bedroom. I put them not as frequent as the receptacles, but pretty close. And each one of them I ran as a home run, so it's from there all the way back to the panel, And my thinking was multiple, right? One, yeah, you're going to want to plug some things in. Somebody has a computer or a laptop, it's just easier to plug it in, fine, whatever. But I'm thinking more about the future, like you're saying, future proof. I'm thinking there's going to be more PoE devices, and we're going to be able to do, like, why not a PoE phone charger or something? Why can't you plug something into an Ethernet jack that's got a connector that goes to your phone? You can do it over Ethernet instead of through the 120 stuff. I just think that there's a lot of stuff going that we're going to probably want to use that cable for that we don't even know yet. The other thing is I still want to do some of my like Magic Quest stuff. Like I did that little dragon and the little wand box, in that little game. I want some of that stuff in the Hobbit house. And so I want to be able to take like a little statue or a plant or a painting or something that's in a corner on a wall. And if I have an Ethernet jack close by, I can set up an ESP32 with a Ethernet hat from Quindor and do something cool with that device. Give it some LEDs, give it some, ability to play some sounds or move or something, or sensors included in that, but have it be Ethernet and not Wi-Fi. So I wanted all that to be there. You sent me some pictures of your Cat 6. Let's see what this looks like. I bet it's crazy. Okay, see you, D. I'll be done in a bit. Yeah, that's kind of how mine is too. Yeah, that's how mine is. It's a great place for it. I approve. I approve this message. Secret something, Easter eggs. Yep. Ooh, Brendan, let's see what you got. Oh, I think did I look at this already? I thought I looked at this, or you showed me this. This looks familiar to me. This does look familiar to me. It's so cool, man. Dude, that's amazing. So this is that stuff you were talking about? Look at that. Woo! In the tiki room. Imperial cause it's a royal pain in the I hate Imperial. Bum 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 bum. A butt ton is metric. Hey, didn't I say there is such a thing as a buttload? It's an actual thing. It is an actual thing. A buttload, plural, buttloads. It's obsolete from Britain. It's an English measure of capacity of a heavy cart containing 6 seams, 48 bushels, equivalent to 384 gallons. How can you not know that? Makes perfect sense. Has anyone had issues with Cat 6 couplers and PoE? If they're reliable or break down because of the heat or something? Ooh, good question. Good question, Sean. I wonder, PoE is a new thing to me. I'm just getting into it. I love the idea, but I know that there's going to be some limitations. And just by playing around with Lumen Cache, like yesterday, I was actually figuring out how many wires I need to do some of the lighting I wanted to do, and I had to run extras because I didn't think I had enough. It's curious how, like, when I'm talking to Derek about the Lumen Cache stuff, a lot of it is when you're talking about how much you can run over PoE, they talk about it in watts. Doesn't that seem funny? It seems funny to me because we always talk about wire capacity as amps because that's what makes the wires hot, right? That's what makes them melt, or whatever. And if your voltage is different, then your amps are different. But you could have the same number of watts. So you could have a lot of heat and the same amount of watts as a different cable that has less heat, because the voltage is different. So the amps are different, and so the wire is different. So I'm just curious. I care about watts because voltage and amps can vary. But if we say that it's got a max capacity of 30 watts, because I think that's about what he's saying on most of those, right? You say, oh, this is you can do 30 watts through this PoE cable. Well, 30 watts at 48 volts is a lot different than 30 watts at 24 volts, right? It's twice the current. So it just strikes me curious. I'm not trying to change the industry. I was thinking about it today, and like, why do they do watts? Biggest thing I like about PoE is the fact that you can have everything be backed up on battery for those without full house battery backup. What I love about PoE is it's one cable. It's one cable, and you can have information and power. That to me is massive because we've always just been able to have power. No, 30 watts at 48 volts is 0.75 amps. So 30 watts at 24 volts is 1.5 amps, right? I'm okay being wrong, Richard, too. If I'm saying something that's totally crazy, you can tell me, and I got no problem with being wrong. I'd rather just learn. But that's just how my brain was looking at it today. I was like, why? Just curious. Why watts? Of all the times we talk about, cause the reason was because I'm like sizing my service wires coming into the house, And so what I worry about on like on a 24 gauge wire, 0.75 amps maybe is fine. 1.5 amps might not be fine on a 24 gauge wire. That's why I'm thinking. That lighting system over PoE you had a few months ago was amazing. That's what we're talking about, and that's what we're doing. In fact, it should be arriving before too long. You are always wrong. Thank you, Yona. The point being, if the wire can bear 30 watts, then you can vary voltage in amps as long as it multiplies out to 30 watts. Okay. I mean, I'll just accept it. I'm still feel like I'm missing a piece in my mind, but I'll just accept it. Strange how it worked out. Sockets in the UK are rated for 13 amps, but appliances are rated in watts. The largest you'll get is 3,000 watts. More ampere, more heat. That's why transmission lines are, 100,000 or more volts, so the wires won't melt. Yep. I love electricity. It's freaking magic. Freaking magic. It's freaking magic. I'm excited to get my Lumen cache, and whatever else I can do with PoE for that, and for that reason, it's one cable, and it's information plus power. Where before it's always just been you can either have power or you can have information. You don't get both in one wire. Now you can. But I agree, it doesn't make sense. 30 watts, 5 volts, 6 amps. Ethernet wire rated for that, like 48 bytes is fine. So you're agreeing with me, right, Quindor? It's just odd that we would talk about wire, like PoE capacity, basically wire capacity in watts. Maybe it's not the wire capacity. Maybe what we're talking about is the hub. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because, you don't want your hub, you don't want to try and draw more than 30 watts from your hub, or the hub, each port on the hub can only provide so many watts. That makes sense. That might be why you're doing it. And it's not so much a cable rating issue as it's a power source device issue. I could totally say, if that's the reason, I am totally satisfied. That makes total sense. I do love my ideal feed through Cat 6 crimper for network cables. Hey, I gotta find a good crimper. It is the wire. Okay. Gotta go. Zinner in the East Coast. See you, Worm. Thanks for being here. Electricity is magic when it works. And it's mystical when it doesn't. We don't know why. I think Lumen Cache always sends out 2448, and if you need something else, then use a DC converter at the end edge. Basically, yeah. Which is why network cables is also rated in watts, so it's matched. Run Ethernet over my power cables here in the UK. What? Ethernet over your power cables? You can do that? I think I've seen this wild beast, but I don't understand it either. AC power is keeping power and data. Yeah, that's I think what Mark's saying, right? Small wire needs bigger volts, less current. Right. That's right. But why then would we? Then that's the point, though. Then, Sir Good Enough, is then why when we talk about PoE devices, like what the reason that came up was because I'm looking at my plan, my lighting plan with Lumen Cache, and it's saying, okay, each run can be 30 watts. Okay, if I have a 48 volt power supply, but I have 24 volt LEDs, I'm going to need to change it from 48 to 24, which is going to double the current. But they'd be drawing the same amount of watts. So my question is, why doesn't the cable need to be bigger, or why don't we talk about it in amps? It's a small thing. It's not a big deal. And then you have contact voltage lights, where the voltage is 24 or 48 and the amperage varies for dimming. Yeah, there's that. And that constant voltage versus variable or versus constant current is still a concept. And I understand it, but it's weird because I've never dealt with constant. I guess I haven't dealt very much with constant voltage lights, because maybe those are constant current lights. Oh, those are constant current lights. I haven't dealt with constant voltage lights. The light current limits, voltage is 48, but not used. Reliability depends on the building circuit layout. Some smart meters transmit your power usage and the power company over the transmission lines. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Lucky for me, I do live in a new building, so my speed over the power lines is very stable. My wife's going back to the office for work in August. I'm going to put some small pixie LED strings in her fake plant pots for her desk. Oh, that's sweet, Nicholas. I love those little things. Thank Quindor for that. He's the one that I saw them on AliExpress, and then he did a little video about them, and I was like, I gotta buy some of those. Those look cool. And I still am gonna put some outside and see how they hold up. My Relink cameras says it will die if I power it with passive PoE, and all my Mictronic routers can be used on both active and passive. I would like to have just one PoE switch for all of them. PoE is that a lot of people tell me that I can't power active PoE devices with passive, and others tell me that I can. Well, this is a place to ask, Eric. I don't know the answer to that either. All LED strips and pixels we use are configured for constant voltage. It's a different science that is used inside our LED packages, for instance. Now you're talking microscopic. My mind just exploded. Well, and when I talked to Derek, who's the LumenCache CEO, inventor guy, he always talks about those two things. Oh, well, that's a constant current light, or that's a constant voltage light. And like you say, and I'm used to dealing with constant. It's funny we say constant voltage lights, but when I turn, well, I guess maybe that's just regular. I guess I changed that. I'm thinking about strips where I can turn down the voltage and the light. Or those are little bulbs. I bought those little bulbs, and when I turn down the voltage, the light dims and increases. So those are constant current lights, and the voltage changes to change the brightness. Right? Yeah, I still have a lot to learn. That's good. That's why I'm going to live to be like 200 years old. Constant voltage. So you probably didn't do a lot with constant current. Yeah, that's the truth, Macro. I didn't. But a lot of these lights that I'm buying from LumenCache and going to put in the house are constant current, is what he calls them. And it matters because there's a different kind of driver. You have certain drivers for constant current lights and certain drivers for constant voltage lights. So that's a new concept for me that I'm trying to wrap my head around still before I blow something up. Direct LEDs should be constant current controlled. Due to the standards, active and passive are two different standards, so it may not negotiate the correct power requirements. So active, help me understand this now, since we're talking about this. Time to go to bed. See you, Rhinus. Have a good night. I'll be going. Oh, I guess it's only 4 or something. Today's my mom's birthday. Today is Grandma Z's birthday. Let's see if Grandma Z's is downstairs. So if it's Grandma Z's birthday, then once she gets here, I'm going to go down and have some cake. We're going to have some dinner and some cake. Cooking her favorite chicken Alfredo. And, oops, wrong one. Hey. Oh, I thought there was somebody in my house. I was like, who is that in my house? It's not anybody. All right, let's see if she's down here. Nope, she's up here. Let's see if she's in the kitchen. Oh, nope, it's just my sister doing the dishes. She's such a good sister. She comes here and works her butt off. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, the standards, yeah. So active and passive, right? Is active where the device has to send a signal that requests the voltage before it will give it, but passive, it just the switch just gives that voltage. And so if you hook up the wrong device, if you hook up a regular device to a passive switch, it'll zap it. Because an active switch, it needs to communicate with the device and get the correct information that says that the device is telling the switch, I am a PoE device, so go ahead and let me have 2448 volts. Is that right? I could Google this, but that's just my... Negotiates requirements in the handshake. There you go. Sweet. Wow, that's almost like what I said. Yes. Man, I learned some stuff. So she can clean the dishes. I wish that would have worked better. That was a great idea. But it was a great idea. Whobbit home looking pretty awesome. Thanks are good enough. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, man. I still owe you. I still got to send you a paquete. Un paquete de cosas grandes. Have I done a frigate at all? No. Waiting to move next week when it's full on smart home. Frigate. I say it a lot. Frigate. usually on the freeway. Somebody's. So this is a smart home thing. Smart bomb. Frigate projects. What? Oh, whatever happened to? What's his first name? Is it Alex? I want to say Alex. He's a good dude, and I haven't heard from him. I know he's doing a lot of great videos. I haven't been watching any of them, but smart home control system. Frigate. I don't know anything about this. Looks like it's from, I don't know what country that is. Frigate NVR is like Motion Eye. Lewis, thank you very much, Reagan. Thank you. I like Lewis a lot. He does a great job. I appreciate his videos. I don't watch most of them, but I appreciate him, and I'm glad he's doing them. Ooh, that's an interesting thing, Rodney. Let me think about this for a minute. Let me wrap my brain around this. Power is measured in watts. Measures how much work is being done, which generates heat. The wire can only dissipate so much. Doesn't matter what voltage or current, as long as you don't go over the wattage. I guess that's true as a... Boy, I guess... okay. I'll accept it. The sky is blue just because it's blue. Thank you for whoever that was that did a subscribing thing that I missed. NVR software. Oh, so Frigate is an NVR software. Dun-dun-dun. And it integrates with Home Assistant. Frigate for 24/7 recording. Use it for TensorFlow for person card. Quindor. Aw, thank you. I'll send it right back to you. I think probably this week. Thank you, though. And thank you for encouraging such things, such behavior. There is a question. Can be active PoE powered by passive? Can be active PoE powered by passive. If I send in the right voltage, electronic devices do not care if you plug them into active or passive if it's between 24 and 60. I would think that any PoE device, any device that is designed to be powered over an Ethernet cable should be able to be connected to passive or active. Where you run into problems is if you have a non-PoE device. So just your regular old Ethernet device, whatever it is, your laptop or something, and you plug that into a passive PoE switch. That passive PoE switch is going to give that device whatever, 48 volts, and it is going to zap it. I'm hearing a lot of stuff. Thank you for all the subscribings. And thank you, Steve. Yeah, 30, and YouTube takes 30% both ways. Oh, that's awful. Did they really take 30%? I think you've told me that before. But if it's not the correct passive voltage, it will break. I guess, are there PoE switches that are something other than 24 or 48? It feels like everything's 24 or 48 when it comes to PoE, but maybe there's others. Otherwise, no. Okay, if it's 48 volts. So passive PoE can power an active device if the passive switch is 48 volts, or if the device is looking for 48 volts. Which one do you mean there, Quindor? Depends on the other device. If the switch is passive, the device is active. It may not accept the power if it doesn't complete a handshake. Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's not that not just any old PoE device can connect to any passive PoE switch. That's what you're saying. You're saying that some PoE devices will look for a specific handshake from the switch. And if they don't get it, then they probably just shunt the power somewhere else. They just don't. Active is always 48 volts. Okay, good. Damn, we are learning so much today. Man. We are learning so much. Passive PoE is a hack and can be compatible if it's 48 volts, but not if it's 12 or 48. It's not a standard. Gotcha. AC to DC, that what most devices use now, would power a town for a week, but AC is still the best way to transmit power over long distances. You know, Chris, this is exactly why this is coming up, right? To me, the reason that something like Lumen Cache or any other, or PoE is because, yes, it's better, it's more efficient to go from the power plant to your house with AC power. But in your house, certainly in like your rooms or your floor, thank you, Brendan. You guys are awesome. But certainly once you get it in the house, it's more efficient to convert it once to 48 volt DC or whatever and send it out to your house and then just connect devices to it than it is for each device to have its own AC to DC converter, right? Over and over and over again. That's how I see it. That's how I feel about it. I feel like that's just so inefficient to have like all these different phone chargers and my monitors and my lamp and my computer and everything is taking AC power in my lights, especially the light bulbs. My gosh, you have every one of those light bulbs that has a little AC DC converter in it that's just giving off heat or whatever, and it's probably not as good to have all those separate instead of having them all together. So that's why I'm taking the risk. So if I didn't have that's why I'm taking this risk with Lumen Cache. If I didn't have Richard to tell me that Lumen Cache was good, I mean, Derek's a nice guy, and I trust him, but I don't know him, and he's in China. I can't talk to him or anything, and it's probably never the right thing to do to just accept one person's opinion about a thing. So Richard is actually a customer of Lumen Cache and a customer of Derek, and so when Richard says this thing works and I love it and it's great, and I can see that Derek is continuing to support Richard's system even though it's an older system, so that means Derek's a reputable guy, he's a good guy, he's going to take care of you down the road and such. Okay, I can make this plunge, but I think it's a great idea. I'm really glad that something like this exists. So, anyways, AC battery is double the loss. We do that at work. Our computer rooms have to convert 48 volts with a battery. We just don't convert back to AC for any device that works on 48 volts or below. Congratulations, Restream by. Congratulations, yo, Bohio. What did I miss with Bohio? Anyways, DC in the home gets much more interesting when you have solar panels and Powerwall as well. Then you could stay all DC, yeah. The only reason that I've thought about that in my house, honestly, because my solar panels and my battery is going to be, well, there's the solar panels, but I don't know, each one of them is however many volts, 3 volts, I don't know what they are, to be honest. But anyways, I'm going to have a 48 volt battery. So I have solar, 48 volt battery, but I have an inverter and a generator, which is going to generate AC, I guess, that are going to send it down. I don't know, it must generate AC, unless it has its own little inverter in it, I don't even know. But they're going to send it. It's got to go. It doesn't have to go real far, but it's got to go like 300 and something feet from where the solar panels are to the house where we're going to use it is like 300 and something feet. So in that case, it's probably better to use, AC 220 volts. Needed for heating coils and motors. Most everything else in the house is DC these days. Yeah. I was surprised that until I started getting into the differences in the motors for cars, electric motors for cars, how much better the AC motors can be. I would have thought DC would be better for those too, but it's only because I didn't understand the AC motors very well. But AC motors, it seems to be worthwhile to, even though you have a DC battery, to go ahead and convert it and have an AC motor. There's some benefits there. AC is better for 300 feet, yeah. AC is better over distance than high power draw, yep. Doesn't waste power to convert DC to AC, but it does from AC to DC. Oh, I didn't realize that. I just assumed you lost some no matter which way you went. So that's interesting, Chris. I didn't know that. DC motors are voodoo. AC motors make far more sense. Oh, see, DC motors to me are the magic. And I'm talking old school, like permanent magnet motors. Like when you see permanent magnet motors and you know, either you generate electricity by spinning the motor and you know, having a wire in the way, or whether you run power through the wire and make the battery or make the magnet spin. To me, that's freaking magic in the world. I love AC/DC. Yes. Gotta go. All right, Nicholas. Maybe we should get ready to sign off. What else? You guys have a few more questions? We've just been kind of rambling here. Let's see. Learn this week in my kitchen cabinets. Oh, we were talking about that. We did that one. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Nicholas. Have a good night. Going to get copyright strike for AC/DC now. Dun, 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 dun. Could you tell that was actually AC/DC? I bet you wouldn't know that. Going to switch to your 13th gen F-150 for a Lightning. Oh, I would love one of those F-150 Lightnings. I think. I don't know yet. I haven't seen them, but I think so. I was driving my Leaf a couple nights. This was probably a couple weeks ago now. My little Leaf, right? I got a 2012 Nissan Leaf. Yes, I'm an anesthesiologist and all this, and I drive a almost 10-year-old super budget electric vehicle at this point. Like it's old. And I'm thinking to myself, why would I ever change this car? Like most of the parts of this car are not falling apart. Like I'm going to wait until like the doors or the seats or the suspension or something starts to fall apart before I get rid of this car, because nothing in the drivetrain is going to wear out anytime soon. I mean, I'm at about 70,000 miles. I've still not changed the brakes. But I was driving the other day, and I was tired. It had been a long day. I was driving home from work. I'd been on call, so I hadn't been home. It was 2 a.m. I'm driving up to my house, and I'm kind of coming around some corners, and my daughter texts me, and I look down at the text, and I go to kind of answer, and I hit the curb. Like I wasn't paying attention. I shouldn't have been looking at the phone or trying to reply, and I hit the curb. And ever since I hit that, when I hit the curb, I tore the tire. I put a slit in the sidewall of the tire. So it didn't pop, but it put a gash in it. I got it replaced, the tire, but ever since then, I've got a little wobble now. Like I get up to high speeds and it's kind of, I got a new vibration. So maybe I dislodged a weight on the wheel, or maybe I knocked something out of round on the rim. It's just aluminum rim, so I could have just knocked it out of round a little bit. So when I get a lot of RPMs, it starts to wobble. But anyways, that was finally the thing that made me think, well, I'm too busy doing too many other things right now, but that might be the thing that pushes me into a different car. But to be honest, what I would do right now, I would probably get a Bolt. I would get a Chevy Bolt, just because they've got great range. Everybody who drives them says they love them. I think they're ugly as sin. The Leaf is uglier, but the Bolt is certainly not a sexy car. I would have thought when I put the new tire on there that they would align it, but I actually need it's because it's aluminum wheels. They said you got to go in and get the lug nuts tightened, and I should get that done soon. And when I do that, I'll just have them make sure it's aligned. I'll tell them it's kind of been wobbling. We'll see. If they tell me it's a bent rim, I'll just leave it for itself. Either the wheel hasn't been balanced properly or the rim itself is buckled beyond balancing. Yeah, probably true, right? It's kind of where I was going. See? Look at all of us geniuses. We all figured this out. They won't do it unless you ask. You have to ask them. Granddaughter was born this past... Oh, congratulations. Mommy and baby are home doing fine. Oh, congratulations, Rodney. Did you say something earlier about that? Because I thought I saw something flash by that I didn't get a chance to read. It sounded something. I thought I remembered seeing mommy in something. Maybe that was you. So, need a Tesla. Sell more Permatrack. Amen, brother. Amen. Plaid time. How will car thieves burn out electric cars in the future? I don't know. How will they? I'll tell you what, seeing that Plaid just destroying cars at the drag strips on YouTube. If you haven't watched this, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and search for the model Plaid at the drag strip. It's insane. So these are real drag strip cars, right? Now they're not funny cars, but these are like, Hellcats, and these are drag racing cars, right? And the Plaid will sit on the start line let them go, let the other car go at least a second ahead, and then take off, and then beat them by 2 seconds. I mean, it's like 9-second quarter mile, 0 to 60, 9 seconds, and they didn't even start. So I don't, when they say 9 seconds, it's 9 seconds from the green light, right? So it's really like 8 seconds. And they're saying 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. Oh my word. I mean, I don't think we need to, we don't need to go any faster than that, guys. Do we really? I mean, at what point do you just need wings, right? Oh man. Okay. Well, hey, let's get the sign off going. I don't know if sign off's going to work. I don't have a button for it. My Alexa has not been doing announcements for me very well lately, so we'll just we'll see if I can find the sign off button here the old fashioned way, and we'll get the cousins. The cousins like to come up for sign off too. Oops. Let's see. That should work. More speed. Olimex boards. I love the Olimex boards. How difficult? Not difficult. The one I would recommend is the skinny one, the little PoE. They have 2 versions of the skinny one. One of them has the PoE isolated, and the other one it's not isolated. So you get so you just you don't have the gaps in the board between the 48 volts and the 5 volt sides. But I love those PoE. The Olimex little skinny boards work great. You're doing Grandma's birthday present? Yeah. Woo! Look at all these. Oh, you smell delicious. Are you guys barbecuing?
No. Well,
we were in the smoke.
What? You all smell delicious. All right. How do you guys want to sign off?
Like
we just ran up
let's
the
see.
stairs.
Like you just ran up the stairs? I think I've got a way to make you guys bigger and in the middle. Oh! Wait. Ah!
Yes.
You want that upside down?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to sign off like we're upside down. Ready? As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios. I'm dizzy now. Oh, put me right side up. I'm going to faint. All right, everybody. Have a good week. We'll see you. Next week, I'm on call, so we'll see if I can stream it all. And then we'll see what we do. Okay? I'll keep you posted. Sir Good Enough will let you know. Have a good one, everybody.